Hello everyone, I am Krisma and I'm glad you chose to crochet with me. This is the first episode of my Crochet Basics for Beginners series where I'll be teaching you all the basic crochet stitches as well as guiding you and giving you tips that will help you on your crochet journey. In today's episode, I'll be teaching you about grip and tension as well as how to make a slip knot and a chain stitch. So let's begin. So first, let's talk about yarn and hook. You can start with any yarn and hook of your choice, but if you're just starting out, I would recommend using regular acrylic yarn along with either a 3mm, a 3.5mm or a 4mm crochet hook, as these are pretty good choices for starting out, and normal acrylic yarn is also quite cheap and affordable to find, and you don't need expensive supplies when you're just starting out. So for these tutorials, I will be using a 3mm hook along with regular acrylic yarn. Now let's talk about your grip. There isn't any right or wrong way of holding your hook and yarn, but the most common methods that I have seen people holding their hook is either the knife grip, like I'm using right now, where you hold the hook like you're holding a knife, and the other method is the pencil grip, where you hold it like you're holding a pencil. There are also other variations. You can experiment and see which is the most easiest and comfortable for you to use. As for holding your yarn, this is how I hold my yarn. So you're going to bring the yarn from under your hand and over your 3 fingers. Then you want to take it under and above your pointer finger, and then you want to hold the tail of your yarn between your middle finger and your thumb. And you will see that your ring finger and your pinky finger, they automatically grip onto the working yarn that's coming from your ball of yarn, and this makes it easy, so when you're using your yarn, it flows through very easily. I'll show you once again. I'm going to bring it over your 3 fingers, under and above your pointer. I'm going to hold the tail of your yarn or the end of your yarn between your middle finger and your thumb. So that's how you hold your yarn. So let's learn how to make a slip knot. I'll be teaching you 2 methods on how to make a slip knot, and you can use whichever you find the easiest to use. So the way I make a slip knot is you're gonna hold your hook over your yarn here, and you're gonna twist the hook going from behind the yarn and bring it to the front. So to the back and bring it to the front. Basically, you're looping your yarn around the hook. Let me show you that again. Twist it to the back and bring it to the front. Something like that. Next, we'll be yarning over. Now, yarning over is a term you'll be hearing a lot when it comes to crochet. What yarning over basically means is when you bring the yarn over the hook, like something like this is called yarn over. It's pretty simple. Just bring the yarn over, that's why it's called a yarn over. You're going to be using your pointer to direct the yarn over the hook. This is going to be the general mechanics of crochet. So let me show you all of that again. Hold your yarn like this, bring your hook, twist it from the back to the front. Then do yarn over, so guide the yarn with your pointer and bring it over. Now we want to pull this loop that we just made through the loop we made earlier. So what we're going to do is you want to hold this loop here between your middle finger and thumb so that it doesn't come undone. So you're going to slowly pull this through, and you can see we pulled a loop. Now it has, when you tug on to the tail of a yarn, it will create a knot, and that is a slip knot. You hear that once again. We're gonna loop around, yarn over, and that's how we make a slip knot. So for the alternate method of making a slip knot, you're going to start with holding the end of your yarn in this hand and your working yarn in this hand. And what you're going to do is you're going to make a loop. Let's show that again. We'll start with holding it in this hand, the end, and this going to create a loop like this. And you're gonna hold it in this hand where you grip your yarn like you normally would. And you want to grab your hook and you want to go from behind the loop into this, and you grip and yarn over. See, let's show you again. Insert your hook from the back of the loop. You're going to bring your working yarn over like this. You're gonna bring it through the loop. Then when you tug down onto your end of the yarn, you should have a knot, that is a slip knot. Let's go over that process once again, just to make it easier. You hold your yarn in this, you hold the end of the yarn in this hand, your working yarn in this hand, you create a loop. And you're gonna hold your yarn like you normally would. So you can see, put here over. You're gonna hold your loop in this between your middle finger and your thumb. You're gonna insert your hook from the back of the loop. You're gonna yarn over. Bring that loop through the big loop. You're gonna pull your strands of yarn, and you should have a slip knot. You can use whichever method of these that you find is the easiest to use. You can also keep practicing. The more you practice, the faster and better you will get at it. So these are the two methods for making a slip knot. Now let's start with learning how to make a chain. So slip knot is the first step, and chain is what follows through after. Now you're going to grab your working yarn and you're going to hold it the way we learned earlier. And you want to hold the tail of your yarn between your middle finger and your thumb. And this is what your setup should be looking like. Now to make a chain, you want to yarn over, just using your pointer to direct the yarn over the hook. So see, you have two loops. This yarn will hold like this. Use your pointer to direct it over the hook. Now you want to pull this loop through this loop to make a chain. So you can do this very slowly. Wrap this through. So you can see that is your very first chain. Let's do that again to make more chains. So we're gonna redirect the yarn here. So we're gonna yarn over and pull a loop through. That's your second chain. You do it again, yarn over and pull through. When you keep doing this, keep adding the chains. It's a fourth chain, yarn over, pull through. It's a fifth chain, yarn over, pull through, and that's how you basically make a chain. Now let's also talk about tension, as that's one of the things that a lot of people miss in their beginner stages. So tension is basically how tight you're holding your yarn. If you learn to crochet without having an even tension, it might become a little difficult to fix it later because you've already learned all your stitches with an uneven tension. So if you learn to crochet from the start with an even tension, it will be a lot easier in the future. Now, when you have an even tension, you can see all your chains are going to look like they are of the same size, as you can see here. If you have a tight tension, your chains are going to look smaller and tighter. So for example, if I'm gripping my yarn really tight, see, it becomes difficult for me to put it, but as you can see, the chain is smaller than the rest of the chains. And if I use my normal tension, this is what they look like. And if I'm having a very loose tension, which means I'm holding my yarn really loose, I'm going to have my chains are going to look bigger than the rest of my chains. As you can see here, they look a lot more loose and bigger than the other chains. So you want to use an even and normal tension. So you want to hold your yarn with a neutral amount of tension. And how you can figure that out is, if you're holding and pulling your yarn too tight, it will become difficult for your hook to slide through it. So for example, if I've made a chain and I'm gripping my yarn too tight, as you can see, my hook does not move very smoothly. When I'm holding it on the normal twist, my hook moves very smoothly. It glides very nicely over the yarn. And if it's very loose, as you can see, your loop itself is gonna look bigger. If your tension is loose, your loop is gonna look quite big, and you don't want this much of a gap when you have a loop on your hook. So you want to keep practicing, and that's how you will get an even tension. I will also keep giving you more tips regarding tension with every stitch that you learn. For your chain, we're going to yarn over, pull through loop, yarn over, pull through loop. If you're having a very tight tension, it will be very difficult for you to pull through your loops. So it's like gripping my yarn really tight, and it will become very difficult for me to pull through because my loop is really small. As you can see, this chain is really tiny in comparison to these chains which are from my normal tension. You just find it a lot difficult to pull through. So if you're finding it difficult to do that, that means you have a tighter tension, and so you need to loosen it up a little bit so that your stitches look even. Normally your yarn should glide really easily. See, that is what an even tension should look like, where your stitches look even. And the more you practice, the better you will get at maintaining an even tension. So if you find it difficult from the start, don't worry, just keep practicing, just keep patience, and I can assure you that soon you will be able to crochet without any much difficulty. You will also be able to maintain an even tension throughout all your projects. So this was the first episode, and I hope I was able to teach you and guide you well. In the next episode, I'll be teaching you how to make a single crochet after making your slip knot and chains. So I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.